During the Minnesota Røkkr home series this weekend, we'll be raising money to stop police brutality and help rebuilding efforts in Minnesota. Our players have chosen to wear this message on their jerseys, #Justice for George Floyd. In addition to hosting today's fundraiser and contributing $50,000 to the causes listed, the Wolf family, owners of Minnesota Røkkr and Minnesota Vikings, committed earlier this week to a $5 million donation to social justice causes, as well as a $125,000 scholarship fund in George Floyd's name. I want to thank everyone for tuning in today and encourage you to donate at røkkr.gg/donate. So you have the opportunity while you're watching this broadcast. If you have the extra money, if you're able to, it's a great cause. So please support it if you can. But now to the match at hand. It's going to be Toronto going up against Chicago. Huntsmen, we're going to see, I guess the big question right now after coming off that loss yesterday is, can they, I don't know, catch some of that greatness we saw last event with the win? Joe, what are your opening thoughts on this matchup?
I mean, for Chicago, it's simple on it, and I think Scum tweeted about it. It's 2-3-5. It's what they lost yesterday versus Florida. They have to be better in those search and destroys, especially against Toronto Ultra. They have gone the distance with them before. Toronto, a great search and destroy team. The communication, the focus has to be there.
Well, and this went Game 5, Round 11 last time with Toronto able to take it. We're going to go through the keys to victory now. We're going to start with Huntsmen, but what are your keys to make sure it doesn't happen to Huntsmen again?
Joe just talked about it. S&D is the key. Tighten up the rounds. They need to stop getting caught alone and giving up free kills during the mid-round adjustment. I think that's definitely the key for these guys. We saw it yesterday. Just the mid-round adjustments are not on point right now. And when it is, that's when they're playing well. When they have success, it's when their search and destroy is on point. We saw Scump had a bad search yesterday, followed by Arcides having another bad search. It's because the teamwork isn't there right now. They have to adjust.
All right, well, let's look at the game field keys to victory now for Toronto Ultra. Walk me through those, Ant.
Yeah, so I know Methods was a bit sad with his performance, so he definitely needs to pick it up. But in general, the engagements are low and the speed isn't there. This is a team that can perform and respawn. We saw it yesterday. It's just inconsistent. They need to pick up the pace, and they can start to succeed.
Well, we'll see if they're going to be able to improve there. I do want to now take a look at the U.S. Air Force maps and modes. We know how important those are going to be in this matchup, especially considering it went the distance last time. Joe, as you look through these 5 games, anything that's really telling or standing out to you?
Everything is great for Chicago, besides map number 2, which is Search and Destroy Rammaza. That has been one where Toronto has been so good all year. They're sitting at 4-2. S&D for Chicago on that map, 0-2 overall. But besides map 2, you're looking at 4-1, 5-2. 5-2 is the map records for the rest of these maps. So a very strong map set for Chicago.
Well, we're getting ready to start the match now. And how important is it for you that Chicago Huntsmen come out hot?
They have to, man, because people are saying it was the honeymoon period. They have to prove everybody wrong. This is a huge match against a team that they definitely should beat.
Well, thank you for joining us, sir. I appreciate it, Joe. But now let's get into the action. All right. Yeah, I don't know what to expect. I mean, we kind of, I guess, had high hopes for Toronto after, they finally made a semifinal and seemingly improved. Then their next event, they struggle a bit. Huntsmen coming off the win. We weren't sure exactly what to expect here with all the, the competition leveling up greatly at this particular event for Minnesota. But Huntsmen might have their work cut out for them. Ultra have seemed to be clicking, especially a lot more than early in the year.
Yeah, and yesterday for the Toronto Ultra, it was just a slow start. I mean, they go to 0-2 down to the Guerrillas, and after that, I mean, 3 and 4, they mopped them. I mean, they looked good. It felt like they were warmed up, and you go to a map 5, and Guerrillas have been a great search and destroy team all year, and they just lose that one, right? Sometimes it's just difficult to always win your search and destroys. But it was just a slow start, and we'll see if they can bring it on the opposite side for Chicago. Keep that hard point up, right? You have the talent, you have the slaying ability. It's just focus on the small communication in those game modes where it's really needed at its most, especially in search.
All right, well, we'll get to that after this first map, but now all eyes on Rammaza. Metal's trying to find the entry. He's able to get a break into the hard point, at least for now. Basically a tie game is Huntsman looking for the pinch and one on rotation. Arcides trying to get set up at the next hard point early if he can. He's already taken one-on-one. Vance is going to be the next person, and Arcides smokes him. That's 2 big gunfight wins for him. It's going to force more players from Ultra to rotate over. How many can Arcides take out by himself? He gets 2. He's finally going to fall. His cammate's able to shut him down.
Yeah, Arcides would love if his teammate was still alive with him right there. You can lock that down with 2-3 players, but as soon as that player goes down, Arcides, he's left alone with an M4, and it's just difficult. At the same time, the Ultra, not only did they win rotation, they got a majority of that scrap time. So a great start for Ultra. You saw Envoy, he was having a slow start at 0-4, but now he's on a 2 spree, starting it towards the back. And you see what that does. It spawns Ultra out towards that front of the hill. And now is the time to go. Only with 30 seconds left of this hill can they break on through. Toronto doing a good job from inside the hill. There's just so many angles to check if you're this M4 Informal. And I mean, job well done for the most part. You see what Chicago is doing. They're focusing on Barbershop. They're trying to rotate over.
Well, the first rotator was actually, I believe, Cammy for Ultra, but he's going to get caught. Bance will get shut down on rotation as well. So Huntsmen finally going to be in a good position now for a hard point. And they need a solid hold here because they're going to look at, what, a 60-point deficit as we get into the third hard point in this map 1. You've got a nice fan across mid-map. The safe spawn there for Huntsmen. A chance to now do some damage and a 3 streak for Formal.
Setting up this wall, but Cammy, sometimes, man, it's just so fast. The headshots come in. Cammy's able to take him down. But right now, it doesn't really matter because that kill, the pressure needs to be on the hill. Informal, he's going to spawn up. Almost takes the second down in methods, but what needed to be a good hold is so far for Chicago.
So far, so good. Arcity's able to shut down 2. Bance can't find anything through the front window, but he classic to follow it up next. And there's a nice double from him. On the other side of the map, it's Envoy in early position. I think it was Cammy again that tries to rotate early for Ultra, but can't find any success. But they bring it back within 30. Huntsman got a nice hold.
Yeah, and that's like a question. I think it's a questionable push for scrap time because Classic, he got 2 kills, and Chicago were already on the rotation. So what happens is those kills happen, and he actually spawns those players up on the opposite side of the map. That helps out Chicago, no problem. You will give up 10 seconds to have a full rotation over here to construction, and you know he's probably thinking gets the 10 to 15 seconds. Not only that, he should spawn them behind Barbershop, but due to the position of the rest of the Huntsmen, that doesn't happen. But Toronto, oh, while I was going through all that entire situation, they were able to break on through, and Metals having a solid game as he's able to snap onto his 3rd in a row. Nice shots on Metals.
Leading all players right now at 12-7. But it's Arcity's with the wall bang that'll end that stretch. All of Huntsman set up around Ruins, and it's Pristini, I believe, tucked away in a pocket, who might be able to get a nice flank in. He should have a lot of players in front of him. Oh, he runs out of ammo. Was nearly going to have 2. All Huntsmen fall. Suddenly the back spawn there for Ultra, and that's a tough moment if you're a Huntsman fan.
Yeah, but they can still hold this from the front. You do have methods trying to work the pinch, but Formal's going to pick that up. AR versus AR. Formal's going to come out on top, and he's just going to rotate over and watch over him. So a nice job by the rest of the Huntsmen to rotate on over, win those gunfights from inside the hill, and they are holding it right now.
Yeah, I was worried in transition when they lost the back so quickly they might be in trouble, but you nailed it. They've done a great job from the front. Pristini doesn't finish one fight, but he's able to snap and take down another, and then Scump looks over him as Pristini and Scump combine to take down 2. And what I thought was scary at the onset ends up being another great hold for Huntsman. Every time they seem to catch up, Ultra put a distance between them again, but now we'll have our first lead change as Huntsman now look to go in front.
You have a pinch opportunity set up for Chicago. Arcity's, I mean, that kill feed, all green. Finally, Classic's able to win one. Arcity's just can't get up top construction. If he's able to get into that power position, should be a lot of time. But Cammy from inside the hill trying to lock things down. Pristini, it's his turn. A nice wall bang on a Cammy, takes him out, and now the rest of Huntsman can get pushed up, you would think. But you actually see who is that. It's Methods who sort of top platform, just watching the cross so that Chicago can't get to the hill. Finally, Envoy is able to do so. But both teams just battling for so many positions on the map.
Well, they're finally able to take out Methods. That's now 5 in a row for Huntsman. Ultra get deleted off the map. So these final 20 seconds should be easy time for Huntsman. Now we'll see if they can do what Ultra did last time. Such a great job of combining 1 and 2. Obviously, a lot more difficult since you've got so many players rotated and set up inside a second. We'll hop to the picture-in-picture as you can look at the fight at the current hard point and also the rotation to next. smokes out, and the backside spawn controlled for Ultra for now. Huntsmen, though, about to hit through the front. Trophy inside as Arceus tries to hit the flashbang. But over the top of the half wall he goes. Now can they get the pinch? Here we go. That's 2 in a row for Arceus. 5 on the kill feed yet again for Huntsmen. It is a clean break. And that might be the moment that's the difference in this game.
Yeah, I was set up by Envoy and Scump back construction. Well, you know, they rotate off that first hill and they're able to just stay alive. And they don't necessarily at that time break the spawns, right? You still have that deep driveway where you can spawn if you're Toronto, but all the kills go down at the front. Scump's ready for the 2 spawners. They're able to take them down. And yeah, beautifully done. Informal, he had a great last home series when they were able to win it. His performance continues here, 23 and 13. As it just feels like he's in a groove.
And the guy that's been kind of lights out for Ultra lately, Methods, is the one struggling. He's double negative right now, and I think you were kind of highlighting yesterday how the ARs seem to be so comfortable on this map. They were dominating in our series that we casted. Methods hasn't really been able to, you know, leave the impact he has, at least recently at these events.
Yeah, maybe it's just one of those things where, you know, he's got to try to find out figure out where he needs to be. You know, I would go back to see what Assault's doing. I think Clay's had some big maps, and you watch Formal as well. Yeah, definitely room for improvement, but they're not out of it. Only down 20 seconds, but here comes another break opportunity for Chicago. They do it again. It's only around the 30-second mark, but still, big time for Toronto. That gets taken away right from them.
Yeah, you never want to have to rely on a ton of big breaks to get the W, as you'd much rather be in a position where you're holding, but they've done such a great job. It's what, 2 or 3 times now they've been able to break clean, also get the scrap time on the previous hard point. Some real good aggression out of Huntsmen to give them this lead. Now 37 points away from closing out this map 1. Toronto in the next hard point first. We'll see if they can hold off another potential break from Huntsmen. But here comes Envoy. We'll see where the spawn comes in for Toronto. It's gonna be backside a second. Is Envoy still looking for an opening into the hard points? His teammates aren't really close to support him.
Yeah, they're just trying to find him. And I thought he was going to have a one-on-one within the hill. It didn't happen. He rotates all the way around. Well, he's just buying time for his teammates. Does get taken out, but this gives his team the opportunity to break through the front. But it's Vance, it's Methods locking it down. It's going to be the last player just trying to hold his position. And, well, we have another lead change coming in.
Ultra back in front. Can they put away Huntsmen? Both teams just devastating game 5 losses yesterday.
Yeah, Cammy was in a position on rotation. I thought he was going to sneak behind Chicago, but he ended up getting taken out.
That's 3 or 4 times. And while on the last Ruins hard point as well, where he has nearly gotten there, nearly made the play. But, I mean, good job by Huntsman kind of stiffing it out and tracking him down. But he's been that guy early on rotation. He's been the route man for sure. Unfortunately, the route hasn't paid off.
I mean, you just see it slaying-wise. I think if you showed this scoreboard, you would not think it would be this close of a game. But that's just due to the rotations where Toronto has, for the most part, held the first part of the hills. Just haven't been able to, you know, get those full holds because they just haven't been able to slay. Chicago, they can close it out here. Formal inside the hill, 33 and 18, has not slowed down one bit. Nice shot's gonna pull the knife out on the Bance, finds the MP5. The man could almost do it all.
Just needed the ammo.
Runs out of ammo. Yep.
Just needed the ammo, but they can win it here. There's 5 more points needed. Prestini holding the front push, able to lock it down. The contest comes in, but will it be long enough to get to another hard point? It will. So there's the break, but across the map, you're gonna see Huntsman rotated with multiple players there for the push.
Metals are here. Eminem are here.
Eminem, can they hold on? Metals inside with the trophy. But inside of construction, you have multiple players from Huntsman. They have to try and break. There's the contest for now. They got to win the gunfights, and Vance is going big. But Huntsman once again get a crucial break, and this time it seals the deal in the map 1. But yeah, there were so many players over there early. What, you had 3 or 4 from Toronto on Rug's side. I think you had 3 in construction for Huntsman. Like, the players were there for the fight. Toronto just couldn't hold on quite long enough. Just needed a few more ticks.
Well, yeah, the rest of their resources were making sure they didn't lose it at Ruins.
Yeah, that's the problem, right?
All the time. But it almost felt like Chicago, it felt like they thought they had it won at Ruins, right? You saw some players like sliding on through with their knife out, just trying to finish that game away. But Toronto, again, we're going to take a look at the stats here, and it is very one-sided slaying-wise. I mean, you have Formal plus 15, you have Scump plus 9, Pristini plus 1. We talked about Methods not having the best of the game. Cammy as well, one of the slower games that we've seen from him. But Toronto, they stayed in it. It was a close hard point, but just Chicago, they had so many breaks throughout that map one.
And we talked about this on hard points. I mean, I know Scump was playing really well last event, and we talked a lot about Pristini and his addition to the team. But the thing that stood out for me the most was Formal finally seems to be getting to that mid to late season form, like where you see him at champs every year as one of the best ARs, if not the best AR in the game. It seemed like he started to scratch the surface of that last event. And there's another bomb, 35 and 20. He dominated out the gate. If he is in that form, man, I just feel like even if there is some sloppy hard point at times from Huntsmen, which I know they've kind of been on each other about, they have like even more of a bailout, right? Because when he wasn't playing to his true form, it's even tougher, I think, when you make mistakes. But when he's playing like that, I don't know. It's just a little bit easier, I think.
Yeah, it's just I think this was like, even looking at previous titles for him, I think this was something like he had to learn. You have to be very disciplined as a main AR in this game, right? And it can be punishing if you're not rotating early, if you're not in your power positions, you're constantly having to fight MP5s. And I think he just had to learn his positions, figure out where he had to be on the map. Because how do we know Formal is one of the best, if not the best AR in the world? It's typically very fast-paced games where he can do whatever he wants. It's a little bit different for him.
Well, now let's take a look at the quick scope presented by U.S. Air Force. You see how these two teams match up, and well, clearly it's been a much better year for Huntsmen as they're sitting at the tippy top of the CDL standings. Toronto, it's a big event. I mean, they're still technically in the hunt. I know everybody's getting into champs, but you want to battle as high up as you can. Give yourself a better seed. Give yourself an easier matchup in the early going. A semifinal berth here, or even a deep run to a final, would be so big for them. But, well, it starts here, and unfortunately they find themselves in an 0-1 hole, and it's a tough loss at that, 5 points.
Yeah, it's just, I think we were all very excited with what we saw from Toronto the last time we saw them, right? When they made that semifinal, and they did it beating some very strong teams, right? It's not like they just had an easy group. Like, they took down some tough opponents. So we're just looking for consistency here, but we know the things about like Classic, a few days of practice with him. How much does that affect them? Because sometimes you're in a rhythm, and when something like that is just taken away from you, that can be tough to deal with.
Yeah, we still don't really know the scenario there because he went home, but like he wasn't allowed to scrim with him, which is weird since it's all online. Like I still don't know exactly what went down, but yeah, it's unfortunate if that had some negative impact on it, which seems to be in a way out of the player's control. But if we're sticking with Rammaza, it's usually fun to watch Classic on this map as he loves to fly and fry inside a cafe. And this has been a map that's been good for Ultra for the most part of the year. They played it quite a bit and they've been strong. You got to think this is their map pick when it comes to search and destroy. This has been one of their best maps without question.
Yeah, again, I talked about this map set. The one thing that stuck out to me was map 2, and it was one-sided towards Toronto. For the other maps, very one-sided towards Chicago. 0-2 here for the Huntsmen. On the opposite side, Toronto. Now, they've gone the distance. Like I remember even opening weekend, they had a round 11 on this one, but this is a map that they've always had in their arsenal.
Pristini, a chance to make a play with 2 kills, but it gets a little bit windy. He can't get the second. He's going to get dropped. I think his teammate was able to close that out, though, so it's going to be a 3 versus 3. As soon as I say that, a Huntsman member drops. Toronto going to wrap towards the opposite bomb site, work to get this down. Formal now finds himself in a 1v3. Now, we've seen ARs with some crazy clutches here. Slasher has had some truly wild ones on this map. You can finesse and make plays, down players, absolutely.
Does he take him down now?
Not gonna happen there.
Yeah, not gonna happen, right? Just put in a tough position. I will say one thing when I've watched Toronto on this map, they throw a lot of players just sort of on the off site where they force a lot of rotations. It may be Cammy towards A or Metals towards B, but both of those players, like, they have a strategy behind it. They may rotate the bomb one way, and it just feels like their offense is always one step ahead.
Yeah, it's a good point. Well, they get the offensive round victory and a great start from Methods at 3-0. Huntsmen, the pressure right up mid-map towards A. You've got two players here from Ultra, and they're being aggressive their side towards top and bottom rug. Metals gets there with Dead Silence. He's able to get the first pick. The trade there instantly. Both players from Ultra drop. That's going to be an open bomb site, at least for now, for Huntsmen. That's a what? They had a 5-on-2, and they made it look easy.
Nice nades out of Methods, though. The stun, the nade connects. They were set up. They knew where Formal was going to be pre-aiming with that M4, able to take him down. So now 4-0. It's going to be a 3 versus 3 retake classic, very close to Dead Silence. Doesn't have it yet, but he does have a smoke. Has the nade. Pristini's just like, hello, I will push you with Deddy. So he's going to take him down. Now Methods, he's got Dead Silence, has the M4, though. The MP5 has the advantage in that fight. Chicago going to tie it up 1-1.
It's like, as we were switching POVs, I thought Methods had a free kill. We swap,
yeah.
And nope, not the case. He pops up and puts him in the dirt. Now all square. We'll keep an eye on that Toronto offense. You said how strong it has been on this map. What do they opt to go with this time around?
I mean, listen, Rammaza search it's chaotic, right? But we always talk about teams that are very good at sort of controlling it and keeping their main objective in mind. And it feels like Toronto always knows what they want to do is they go very fast. Bottom cafe. It looks like 3 players going to be with Classic. He's going to have this smoke for his cross, and he's going to get right to this B-bomb.
Pristini, though, with the first blood. Now more pressure to the players on the site. Classic spots one inside the window. Some nice damage in, but Pristini able to finesse away with his life. See how long it takes for the 2 players on the opposite side to rotate over. It's Formal and Envoy. They're going to start, but Pristini is doing it all. Both kills in this round, including the first blood, is 1 by 1. He's picking apart Ultra. Metals almost gets away, but RC is able to hit fire and put him down. Methods and Cammy now in a 2v4 scenario. Is this offense not in a good spot? We'll see if they can clutch.
There's still some time to work with. They know RC's position now, but Formal working the flank and hit it, and there we go. Finally, that rotation. But yeah. I mean, Pristini was controlling top platform, but we talked about Envoy and Formal when they were up towards that A site. You saw how sort of slow that they were playing. They were waiting for a rotation, and that's what I'm talking about. They didn't want to overcommit and open up that bomb site because that's what Toronto is known to do. But big plays out of Pristini in both of their round wins, and now they have that 2-1 lead.
Pristini 5-2 now. Arcides, his brother, right there at 4-1. They'll combine for 9-3 out the gate. Well, I might have cursed him as Arcides gets his legs blown off early in the round. So first blood to Classic. Now what can they do with the numbers?
See what they can do. Is Chicago going to start to work towards B? I think that's Pristini getting very aggressive. He's going all the way to electronic right now. And I don't know if they know this. You just wait for him. You wait for him to make the play, but Metals, I don't know if he spotted him, got good timing, heard him as soon as his Dead Silence ran out, but nice shots from Metals, able to take down Preston.
I would say Formal reads it, but he gets caught between the swap and Ultra take it. It looks so awkward. Just the time he got the second he goes to think about moving, holding it just a second longer, and he likely has a free kill. As we'll switch sides again. Neither team able to find much separation yet within this game too. Classic's POV out the gate as he looks to be flying bottom cafe. Connected onto RC with the Simtex last time. Yeah, that's what he likes to do. He likes to fly. He has some help there with them, but the trades effectively go the way to Huntsmen. But yeah, he's not sneaking through doors. He's hammering on through.
Yeah, he's going as fast as he can. And it worked last time, right? Chicago wasn't there. Maybe they thought it was an opening. They didn't mind what happened B-side. They just had to take down Pristini, but The adjustments from the Huntsmen were there. They send 2 bottom cafe. They shut down that push behind 2 from Envoy. Scump, he gets aggressive on methods. The defensive holds have been strong for both teams so far.
We'll see if Toronto now can bring us all square. A classic. I mean, his only real kill was what, the Simtex onto RCs. Outside of that, yeah, those early round aggressive plays not working out for him so well. Pristini tries to hop up, but that's gonna be bombed down as Bance will locate the first blood. For Huntsman, you saw Formal lurking on the other side of the map. It looks like he's wrapping back to provide some assistance for this break. Envoy busts on through, and there's the kill. At the same time, Bance, though, gets his second in the round. Looks like Huntsmen want to try and wrap this out, but unfortunately, they're met by Metals mid-map. An effective trade for Huntsmen yet again, but now going to be a 2 versus 2, 45 seconds on the clock. Big gunfight win there for Arcity. Now all to Benjamin Bance. He's got 2 kills in the round. We'll see if he can track down more. Not going to happen. Smoked. Top cafe. 4-2 Huntsmen.
And I think he had dead silence as well. He didn't have it popped. You see how he's crouching around. He probably just wants to win one gunfight, then use that dead silence. But I don't know. Envoy, he had some sort of sixth sense where he was able to catch it.
Yeah, well, and
just had an idea.
Good luck winning that fight when he's slide canceling around the edge and you're crouched there.
Yeah, he's slide canceling. He has Daddy popped. Good luck.
Good luck indeed. 2 rounds away now from a 2-0 edge are Huntsmen to move on and continue their battle to try and get to a semifinal berth tomorrow. The sniper comes out. Don't see it a ton on this map, but we have commentated Cammy many times when he has sniped, and he is elite with that thing in his hands.
He finds that opening for Toronto, but Pristini, did he find a bigger opening? He's going to snap onto 1. What else can he find? Gets 2. Can he almost get the 3rd? Cammy has the pistol out. Formal's able to take him down. How does he even get 2 there? A big 2-piece.
Well, I think what you said, because he had the pistol, right? Like, if that's an M4 or MP5 player tucked away in that corner, it's probably an insta trade, but it comes a little bit slow. He might have had sniper out, had to weapon swap, try to get some shots in, and I thought Pristini was going to get 3 for a second. That would have been ludicrous, but Metals now 1 versus 3. Tippy tapping across the map. Very sneaky.
He's just got Daddy Pod. He was just waiting for that. We've seen some ridiculous clutches. What can he find? The biggest problem, he has to plant this bomb. Well, where are both of those Chicago? Are they just all the way up top? Yeah, I think they're all the way top 3. And well, guess what? His Daddy runs out. And good luck clutching in this game without that.
Simply not enough time to get it done. 5-2 now for Huntsmen as they've ripped off 3 straight and get firm command of this game too. But you'll see the final one from Formal. Easy pickings. And yeah, for the most part, a lot of the clutches that have happened are due to the aggressive nature of this map and the fact that sometimes you're left in those clutches, well, like a minute left on the clock to work with. There, by the time he's able to pop the Daddy, 20 seconds to go. Not a whole lot he could do, but he had to obviously try to make it work. 1-7 from Classic in this map, and yeah, it just feels like you've had a dud from somebody in each of the first 2 maps. Methods, I know you only lose by 5, but not a great map from him. Now Classic struggling mightily here in the map too. Pristini, the Butcher, goes through and connects with the knife as he has been disrupting any early control from Ultra all map long. He's going to keep on flying. His Daddy is out, locates the 2nd kill, able to win that gunfight. Formal there for the trade, and the numbers still stay in favor of Huntsmen. 3-2 advantage now for them, just under a minute to go. Ultra have to clutch this to stay alive in the map too.
And you see the importance of your aggressive player on this map and what Pristini's doing. Yeah, we talked about it. This is usually a very good map for Classic. He finds those timings. He loves to just go through doors, win those one-on-ones. And when he's being shut down, when his aggression is met by Pristini, who's already on 10 kills throughout that map, that's really a huge game changer in Chicago, who are 0-2 on this map. Just took a big one.
Yeah. I know you like to fly, but so do I. Pristini likes to get moving, right? But yeah,
So do I,
convincing victory on a map that is very, very good for Ultra. And it's not close. Well, I mean, it is early, but not late. 4 straight rounds for Huntsmen to close that out. 8-4 for Formal. 10-7 for Pristini. Double positive for Envoy as well. Just a fantastic job there.
Yeah, great job overall. Just felt like, you know, some of their problems that they were having yesterday in search, you know, I think every single one of them just tweeted, you know, we've talked about it.
I think we're now going to take a look at our Astro social soundboard. And this one's funny. There have been some great tweets from the CDL franchises lately. I know Mutineers have been fantastic as well. But here's another one. It's like, so never go down 0-2 to FaZe. Got it. Yeah, lately. And I actually missed tweet earlier. I thought it was 4 times because I thought at one of the 2 events they went to Game 5 with subliners that one was a reverse sweep. But it was a 1-1 start in those. But these 3, they haven't lost many maps this year, right, Joe? Like, they haven't lost many maps. That's the one thing that stood out on the leaderboard is they don't lose many. Yeah, they haven't lost many maps, they haven't lost many matches, but these rare occasions, now 3 times when they've gone down 0-2, in all of them they're able to get the victory. And I know there were frustrations yesterday with the delay, and I felt for Seattle, but I felt like there were a lot of people that were like, oh, there's no way they're winning that if it's not for it. Well, if they can do it to Empire, I think they can do it to just about anybody. I don't know what it is for FaZe right now, where they wake up mid-series sometimes, they're trying to challenge themselves or what it is, but they're never out of it. And that's usually the conversation when you're talking about one of the top teams in the game. Yeah, you're never out of it. But no, Florida, keep it going on Twitter. They've been great.
Yeah. Oh, the one yesterday about the twins versus the triplets was just so good. It was really good. But yeah, it just feels like Atlanta FaZe right now. You don't want to go down 0-2, but it just shows
absolutely.
The
now, we mentioned one of the donations when we started off this match. We're going to take a look at one of the other ones because there's stuff going on for Minnesota with the family with the Vikings as well, but also now for Call of Duty. They're going to be supporting it as well. So many ways that you can donate it, but the Call of Duty League stands firmly against racism, inequality, and injustice. Let's make change together. Activision Blizzard has made a donation and set a goal of raising over $4 million to help provide transformative opportunities to Black Americans to eliminate systematic racism and discrimination. Go to callofdutyleague.com/impact. So there are great ways to get involved. There are a lot of great causes that are being supported this weekend. So thanks to all of you that can be involved, and we hope you're enjoying these matches as well. But with that said, we're going to head to a quick break. It's a 2-0 lead for Huntsmen. They'll look to close out this series. Both teams coming off a frustrating Game 5 loss. We'll see who will take it. We'll be right back.
Call of Duty League is brought to you by Metro by T-Mobile. Stay connected to what matters most with the best value in wireless.
I just look at the evidence, right? The last time we saw Toronto play, they looked fantastic. They picked up some pretty big wins against some pretty big teams. And they finally made it out of groups, right? Toronto's been a team that's struggling. They finally make it out of groups, and then they go into an Optic match where Optic has been scorching hot, and they still take them to a Game 5, round 11. So, as high as we've been on this Optic team, Slash has taken over all this, Toronto were toe-to-toe with them. It seems like they finally have the roster. They really want to stick with these 5. Now they're starting to make those improvements, and if it's been, maybe 4 weeks since we've last seen them, they look pretty damn good. I think they exceeded pretty much everyone's expectations. I see no reason why that's not going to continue. At least a slight uptrend for this team. I think they're going to be on point, and straight up, I just think they're going to be stronger than the Florida team. Unless Awakening actually does make the correct changes for this team that they need, I don't think that Florida team is going to be strong enough. So in my mind, it is a what if versus what we know. What if Awakening is going to be great? It'll help the team, sure, but I do know that Toronto, the last time we saw them play, were pretty damn good, and again, toe-to-toe with a team that is now one of the best in the world. So I'm looking for improvements from that squad. I think they're going to be able to make it out of groups.
And we are back. Now, Joe, you were on Contesting the Point. I believe you and Chance were going back and forth on various topics. One of them ended up being Ultra. Can you kind of take me through what Chance had to talk about?
I mean, he just thought that they were going to get out of Group B. They had to group to do so. I went with Florida, though. I also said that Toronto was going to lose match 1 to Guerrillas. So my argument's looking strong. I'm looking good right now. Even though I lost that episode, I'm still looking good.
Well, you are far smarter and better looking than Chance, Joe. So I'm not surprised that that's how it went.
I don't think that's true. That's a handsome
Did you win the episode, though?
No, I didn't.
That's embarrassing. Who owns our matchup, by the way, right now? Do I?
It's 2-2.
Okay, you're right. 2-2. All right, we're going to take a look at now the U.S. Army tactical play from that search and destroy. Huntsmen able to dominate that one in a 6-2 fashion, but some great moments throughout.
Yeah, some great moments throughout, and the round we're looking at right here, it's just, Ultra, they go right back to that bottom cafe push. Envoy's hello, I'm here, we're ready for it. 2 players set up. They get 3, first picks right off the start, give them the advantage. But yeah, it just felt like Chicago, they had a good strategy up their sleeve, and they're able to pull it out.
Well, see if they can pull out the 3-0 sweep. We're going to head to Gunrunner, the domination. Chicago looking to put Ultra to bed quickly. If we know anything about Ultra, it's usually a lot of 4 and 5 game series. They don't get 3-0'd often, if ever. I mean, they are so good at taking it deep, but we'll get right into this map 3. I'm going to start off from the Huntsman POV and see what they can do on Gunrunner. Who will vie for control of B first will be Envoy's POV, as he's going to be flying right towards that B capture point. We'll take a look at the numbers. Looks like 3 people here for Huntsman, and it's Formal looking over with the M4, able to lock down 1 before getting dropped. At a standstill for now as 2 Huntsman players drop. The pressure going to fall to Formal to make the play now with the M4 from the back line. He's got into a power position, takes 1 down, nearly takes down a second, but neither team able to get control yet. But let's lead that right into an Astro Gaming listen-in with Huntsman.
Nice
Go
win,
B,
man.
Maybe short.
Alex being a nuisance. Another guy B, method, sitting on the heady, sitting on the heady.
Water, bands. He's going for bathrooms. Bands front bathrooms.
Lockers
dead. Yeah, bands front bathrooms.
I'm watching
I spawned back. Hey, I spawned back here.
Nothing else.
I'm in bathrooms, Did we kill? Yo, P3, middle, one's middle, guys.
Middle?
P3, absolute. Another one on B.
Mid dead, mid.
You killed middle?
I got one.
Oh,
I'm
I'm
getting your lockers. I'm pushing all your lockers.
No, don't. They're gonna
Don't? Okay.
playing top B.
Stack this. Alright, I'm going pipes.
I'm going pipes.
That play slow. I'm still blocking.
Three back right.
Yo,
Three back
yo,
right.
press when you spawn. Press when you spawn. Block.
I'm playing
okay?
vents. I'm playing vents.
I'm going for it. I'm going for it.
He's open, man.
One second.
Go for it.
I spawned B.
You're good.
Open again. I'm helping middle.
Vents is open.
One shot
Water.
There's
Spawning back
bathroom,
right.
one shot
Bathrooms
Got
dead.
more.
Not him.
Bathrooms. He went back.
Blocking
Bathrooms.
A.
Locker's dead.
Yo, open.
On C, Cammy.
Okay.
He's going
Right
bathroom.
I'm pushing up B.
Playing right. One's force methods ready.
Yeah,
Nice, good vent.
Nice, good win.
He's
I
crossing.
spawned
I'm getting
P3.
vents.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
right.
I'm not peeking.
On the rock.
Give me the side B.
One tap.
You on me.
I hear you, Preston.
One's there side tracks.
What's your green or something now?
You needed me?
I backed up
I see him.
P3.
Oh, inside
You one
back.
shot.
Big one.
One more pipe flat.
Force.
Yeah.
Pipe flat. I'm on top.
I'm dead.
I'm
watching.
back to half wall. Cammy's green. Back force. We got A's in.
I got him.
Lockers
in.
Nick.
Go back to A. B. You can play B.
Oh, you guys are both already A?
On A.
Nice, good job.
I'm going
Depleting.
I'm going deep right.
You guys hold A.
Yep. No tracks.
Track's dead.
I don't see anything.
I got one.
One's going P3 now. P3.
It's two.
On the head glitch. On the head glitch right now.
They're gonna back up.
It tracks.
Mid tracks. Cammy, wait.
Tracks
Nice,
here.
good one.
I'm going B down.
Let's go B.
I spawn C.
Someone's got to go C.
Yeah, I'm going C.
I need it for you, Preston.
I'm going B.
They have trophies.
And we are back. 24-point advantage for Huntsmen currently as they're trying to regain control of B. Envoys we saw yesterday still Uzi in hand. It's nice to see a little bit of variety in the CDL. I'll see what he can do with it throughout the course of this game. Scup and RC's combined to take down 3. Good half so far for Huntsmen.
Yeah, good half. I mean, a lot of clear comms throughout that listening. But I think the big thing is now is Toronto, you did the tough thing, which was flipping A, but now can you get a 2-cap? Can you cut this lead down going into the second half? We take a look overhead, what's going on? But you just see them in map control right now by Scump, by RC's doing such a good job continuing to rotate into pipes. It looks like Vance has snuck through, but Envoy, he's there. He's got the Uzi. Nice shots on the Vance to take him down.
Yeah, if you're going to have that shift at the tail end of this game, it better happen quickly. Unfortunately, right now, Huntsmen have them pinned. And it looks like the play call has been to rotate out towards C because you have Envoy in this strong position with the Uzi over towards minecarts. They're forced to go towards C. Not a ton of time left to make much of an impact on this. But the good thing is they'll have that A side spawn control at least to start things off. Huntsmen, though, continue what's mostly been a clean series. I mean, the only negative you could really have is what? You sort of nailed it. They outslayed pretty heavily in map 1 and won by 5, but a map win's a map win. That's about it.
Yeah, it sure is. And the problem is, it's like, yeah, you have the stronger side, but Chicago know they're going to probably have around a 40-point lead, and they can just play around the clock, right? That's your biggest ally when you have the lead in domination. You can go to C constantly and try to get the neutrals. The big thing for Chicago, I think, is just to have a very solid start. You know, don't get down into a 2-cap and a neutral. So we'll see what Toronto can do, but they're going to have to push very fast to, you know, get control over mid-map.
Well, I think they got like 1 tick of a 2-cap and a neutral at the end there, but it's not going to make too much of a difference the overall score line. So it'll be a 34-point advantage right near that 40 realm you were talking about as we head into the second half. But yeah, we'll see what their play style is. If it's to get B control, try to lock them in, or are they going to play scrappy and play behind the clock? We'll see what Huntsmen do early in this second half, but a nice cushion to work with. And I know it's different hard point to Dom, but if we saw anything, when they needed a break onto a hard point, they weren't having a whole lot of trouble doing it. So you think if they're going to try and work this A flip, they might find some success.
Gotta have a good break. Yeah, gotta have a good break here. Get that AB set up. I mean, heck, we've even seen FaZe, right, go for that AC setup. But you have to establish control and really just try to lock things down. It looks like they are going to try and go for AC. It looks like there's one player there. That was RC. He was picking up mid-map, but yeah, they're going right for C.
So there's the AC control. That's going to prompt Huntsmen to go straight towards A. So this is what's going to be interesting. Can they hold is exactly the correct question. So far, so good for Huntsmen, though, was they're able to brute strength their way through the back. They've already neutraled A. The flip might have already happened. So the high risk, high reward, maybe type play you're going for is not going to pay off for Ultra. And Invoice Uzi is lighting it up. That was 3 in a row, 4 in a row, just beaming them across the map. Is the Uzi making light work of Ultra now 6 in a row, 17 and 8. The Uzi, it hits pretty hard.
Yeah, I mean, listen, you know, you and I were talking to Hitch. It may not have some color on it, but it is some variety. So I'm sure Hitch is loving that play with the Uzi. As he goes up to, almost to double positive. But here's the thing. I would love to go back. I'm not sure exactly who it was at the beginning of that round. But it's basically a 3-2 split push from the Toronto Ultra, where you have 2 guys just sort of play towards C. 1 guy's capping A. The other 2 heads up towards B. In one player, I'm not sure who it was, but they just ran through water, right? And they gave RCs a free kill. What I would love to see
they were trying to flank B, and they got caught, is what it
right.
What
I would love to see instead is you just play around pipes, and then if you hear Chicago run towards A, your players spawn up. Instead of basically a 2 versus 4, you have a 3v4, right? You can use that extra player to lock down A. But they get caught. They are able to hold down AC, another opportunity, but they have to make up 40 points in 3 minutes.
Yeah, that just goes to the time is on Huntsman's side, as you said. It's seemingly, I mean, they've done a much better job so far than the first half, but just down so big, it may not matter. Vance takes 1 down with the M4, then 2 with the MP5, as Vance doing everything he can to keep this AC control. We'll see what Huntsman, what push they decide to do. It looks like they're wrapping back towards C for now.
I mean, they don't need a flag. That's the thing, right? You can win with 1, but you don't want to turtle up. Envoy's trying to get aggressive. The main thing here is, when is Toronto going to go for a neutral at B? That's when they have to just sort of try to go for the win of this game. Formal, though, he was able to lock that down. But 1 player, I think that was RC's, tried to get on the A flag. This may be an opportunity. They get 4 dead. Metals is able to cap C. They're on B. You see where Chicago is spawning. Can the 3 cap come in? How long can they hold it for?
They still have 2 players there, but unfortunately 5 Huntsman members to deal with. But every tick, that massive lead will disappear. I think they get, what, about 1 tick on 2 and a neutral?
21?
They might have got, well, maybe more than that. They got a couple of ticks of it.
Yeah,
I mean, it was 40.
I think they can win with a 2 cap.
Yeah, I mean, look at how quickly that shifted, because it was a 40-point advantage. As you and I kind of first started the time conversation, and that's a huge moment from Ultra. But can they hold on to it?
The neutral's at C. The neutral's at C. You're relying on Formal and Scump to go big at A flag. Neutral came in for a second. It's already down to an 11-point lead. Formal is able to stay alive. He goes on a 4 spree. It's 6 kills in a row from the duo to give them the A flag. Pristini's locking down C. When they have to clutch up, they do.
How quickly that got flipped on its head. It looks so good for Ultra. It looked like another 3 cap for a second there. But a couple massive individual moments for a Huntsman, and look how different the mini-map looks now. It was a 3 cap for a moment there. They got it down to what is close as 10. It leaps out to a 23-point advantage in just a matter of moments. And that's going to be enough to seal the deal. I'll tell you what, that was a valiant effort from Ultra. They really nearly got that done. There were some heroic moments, but
I mean, you had 6 kills out of Scum and Formal. 6. They were the only 2 on that side of the map. They had 6 in a row.
T2P, baby. T2P.
And that's one of those things where they kill one of those guys. they probably end up winning that, and it doesn't happen. Yeah, I mean, it was Formal, Envoy, but I mean, Scump at the end as well to help them clutch up.
Tad insult to injury, they'll 3 cap him for the final 10 or so seconds. As Ultra nearly do it. But Huntsmen bounce back from a rough Game 5 loss yesterday. They get revenge for their Game 5 loss versus Ultra last time they faced off. This time, they take it 3-0. And, well, it's a close map, 1 5-point game. The Dom obviously was a tug of war with regards to the scoreline. I mean, it looked like a blowout for a moment, then they brought it back. I mean, the only one that was super convincing, I guess what you say, was a Search, but overall, it's a complete game or 3-game win from Huntsman. I think there's a lot to like from what you saw from them.
Yeah, and you know, you get past probably, I would say, like, based on what we've seen from Toronto, now you get to play in the round 2 later on tonight against a Guerrillas team. So, you know, who has looked better this weekend, but we talked about it on broadcast. They still haven't made a Sunday, so you have to be, you know, pretty happy if you're a Huntsman fan. Oh,
yeah, they've improved, but it's going to be a very, very difficult matchup. I mean, the upset potential is there, but it's still just... It's almost just hard seeing, just when you take a look at the names, just the pedigree of players on each side of it. It's like hard to imagine the upset happening with the superpowers that you have for Huntsman. But yeah, I don't know. I've seen 4-1 Scump do some stuff, man, that I cannot do. So I view it as superpowers. Did you know I carried Formula on Warzone until like 1 a.m. on Thursday?
I know. I've seen you.
I did. I was playing horrible. I was like half asleep. There was one game I had like 3 and they combined for 60. Now Arcitys and him are frying, but now that's some fun playing some games with those guys. But now let's take a look at the Scuff play of the game. It's going to be Pristini, the newest addition to this Huntsman lineup, and obviously they've seen success since he joined, as they're coming off that victory, looking to maybe go back to back and be the first team with 3 CDL home series victories. But I mean, you could have picked a couple moments in this. I know we didn't see some of it from Scump and Formal's POV when they had the massive moment over towards A, but really in that moment, kind of everybody clutched up, right? Because there were big gunfight wins at A, there were big ones at C, big ones at B, like all over the map, they were split. And in those little duos or even solos, they were making massive plays, and that's where they sealed the deal. I mean, they let it get scary. When it got too scary, though, they pushed them down.
Yeah, exactly, right? Scump and Formal go big on one side of the map. Pristini, he's like, you know what? I know they're going to spawn up towards C. Immediately, they have to go for that, and well, they're able to lock it down. As now we take a look at our updated groups. FaZe, they're through tomorrow. Florida, they are through tomorrow. You know, up next, you're going to have Surge versus Røkkr. You might have a, you know, I don't know if we've talked about it, but, you know, you have the Alex news with Exceed. Maybe a shot for Seattle.
And like if it goes how we think it will, like if it ends up being FaZe Empire, oh no, it would flip, right? So it'd be what, Mutineers Empire and Huntsman FaZe.
We
finally get Huntsman FaZe. I swear, if they lose to Guerrillas, and that's what caused it to happen. I know Guerrillas have been improving; it's possible, but like, wouldn't that be like sort of comedic in the sense of like it feels like everything going on, man. Everything has gotten in the way of having that matchup between FaZe and Huntsman. And if of all teams, I mean, and not to like knock Guerrillas next, but they've been one of the worst teams in the league so far this year, even if they're getting better. If it's Guerrillas that shut it down from finally happening, like, all right, man, it's just never happening. I lose any faith in it ever happening.
Yeah, that would be pretty wild. That would be wild indeed. As I just looked over and it looked like I was invisible for a second. I don't know what just happened, but maybe I got some superpowers.
You got superpowers.
But that was wild.
But before we head to break and get ready for our next best of 5 in the 6 we have today in day 2 of the CDL Minnesota Home Series event, I do want to remind you guys about the Challengers Cups, because there is a lot of action going outside of the pro realm and a lot of other action that you can check out. I saw checked out the broadcast a little bit as this was going on. There's going to be a dedicated Sunday broadcast as well, so you're going to be able to watch some of the top amateur players play from around the world, and that'll be great. I mean, there's a lot of money on the line. It's fun to watch these up-and-comers compete for their chance to maybe represent one of these franchises one day.
Yeah, I think I saw Jess's cast in that, you know?
Yeah,
so
I saw it.
I'm going to be pretty excited for that.
I forget who else, but
I think it's Fox. I think Fox is back as well. Awesome. So at top of the, you know, the players, also there's some on-air talent getting a shot as well.
Well, Joe, it's fun casting with you as always. I'll see you for match 6, but the action still to come after this quick break.